What's up everybody and welcome back to this new tutorial, and today I'm gonna show you a little secret so that you can make your camera look so realistic. We're gonna be adding the shaky movement. If you notice this animation, you can see that there is a slight shaky movement in our camera. Let me show you the final result. So this is how it's look like in the render mode. So you can see that there is a shaky movement which gives the impression that somebody is holding that camera. And this effect gives our final result a really realistic look. So I'm gonna show you how you can add those shaky movements in your scene. Okay, now I would like to start by creating that first animation. So let's select our camera. And let's switch to the camera view. Hit 0 on the keyboard and you will automatically switch to the camera view. So now I'm gonna change its position. So if you want to change its position, hit G on the keyboard. So for example, if you want to move it on the x-axis like this, hit GX and you will be able to move it like this. GY to move it on the y-axis, and also GZ to move it on the z-axis. So I would like to keep this at the initial keyframe or the initial position of our animation. So what I'm gonna be doing is make sure that you are on the 0 keyframe over here, and I'm gonna go to this transform panel, hit N if you don't see it, and I'm gonna insert the keyframe. So I'm gonna insert the location and also the rotation of our camera. So because basically what we want to do is we want to change the location of it and also the rotation. We want to change its rotation. Okay, so make sure that you are inserting both keyframes, the location and the rotation. Now I'm gonna go straight to the 200 keyframe here, and I'm gonna change my position of the camera. I'm gonna keep it at this position. So in order to bring your camera to this position, hit Ctrl Alt 0 like this, Ctrl Alt 0, and you will have your camera set to this position automatically. So now we can change it a little bit, maybe spin it like this. Okay, and now let's insert these keyframes at the 200 keyframe. So we're gonna need the location and also the rotation. Okay, excellent. So now by doing so, if we played our animation, you can see that it moves from the first position to the final position like this. And this is the way to create any type of animation that you want. So basically you set the first keyframe, second keyframe, and also you can increase the number of keyframes. So basically if you want to go beyond this, you can increase the number of this end, make it 300 for example. And let's say that at this position I would like to change its position to, yeah, something. Let's move it forward. Yeah, something like this. So I'm gonna add or insert those keyframes, the location and the rotation. And now if we go back, you can see that our camera first go to the second position, and after that it goes straight to the third position like this. Okay, excellent. Okay, now we're gonna be adding that shaky movement to our camera. So basically we're gonna be changing or adding the noise modifier to our camera so that we can have this effect like this. And also on the y-axis, on the x-axis. Now we're not going to be affecting the x-axis, we're going to be changing the z. Yes, we're going to be adding noise to the z-axis and the y-axis like this so that we can make it look realistic. Because the problem of our animation now, if we play our animation, you can see that it's 100% smooth and it doesn't look that realistic. So by adding those shaky movements to it, we will make it look realistic. Okay, so let's do that. First I'm gonna split our scene like this so that we can keep an eye on our animation here on our camera. And I'm gonna switch from the 3D view to the graph editor like this. Select everything and hit point the notepad so that you can be able to see all the keyframes. And another thing, you can see that it's slowed down in the first, and after that it's speed up and it's slowed down at the end. And I don't want that effect to be, I want it to be running at a constant speed. So if you want to make your camera runs at a constant speed, all you need to do is to select these points, and I'm gonna start with the Z rotation and scale it to 0 like this. And I'm gonna do the same thing here, scale to 0. Same thing for the X rotation, scale to 0 like this. And also for the location, scale it like this to 0. For the Z location, I'm gonna keep it like that because we don't have any change in the Z location. Okay, so now let's play. You can see that the speed of our camera is constant. Okay, so now let's add those modifiers. So first I'm gonna select the X location. I'm gonna start by the X location. Go to this modifier and add the noise, this noise modifier. So add it, and this is the scale, and this one is the strength of our amplitude. So for the scale, I would like to keep it at 10, and for the strength, let me play the animation. You can see that the strength is too high, so I need to decrease it down to 0.05. 0.5. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing on the Z-axis because we're gonna be changing or adding the shaky movement on the X and the Z-axis. So let's add the noise over here. You can see that effect over here. So by increasing the strength or the scale to 10, okay, and decreasing the strength to 0.01 or 0.5, we'll have that subtle movement. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna do the same thing for the location and the Z location. The rotation, yeah, the rotation and the X rotation and the Z rotation. So let's add the modifier, the noise modifier, but here I would like to gonna keep this at 10, but for the strength, I'm gonna decrease it down to 0.01, like this. And let's do the same thing for the Z rotation. Add the noise, scale it to 10, and for the strength keep it at 0.01. There we go. You can see that our camera starts to look realistic. We have those subtle shaky movements in our camera. Okay, so this is the way to add realism to your camera by adding those shaky movements. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I will appreciate that. And also if you have a problem with this process, leave a comment down below. I will help you solve that problem. Okay, so this is Jankov from realityfakers.net, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Take care.